through the eyes of a traveller.
Hello world! So I apologize if I'm shouting. I can hear a lot of wind noise and I'm not sure if the voice is coming clearly. So I'm on my I have a few trusted steeds, but this is an NC750X, the DCT model, and I wondered if I could do more than the Wales 360. So I'm naming this Wales 1000. Simply because I think I will cover more than 1,000 miles once I enter Wales. So this is day one. I'm heading to Llangollen. Apologies if the pronunciation is poor. And then from Llangollen I'll do Horseshoe Pass and then head down to Pistyll Rhaeadr, and then from Pistyll Rhaeadr I've got accommodation that I'm staying at for the night. So I'm trying to do this in a relaxed manner, so no rush riding. I think that's the best way, and basically the idea is to do more than what people recommend, which is the 360. I lived in Wales for 3 years when I studied at Cardiff University, and I know there's some beautiful places in Wales, and of course Snowdon is it's prestige, but there's other places too: Pembroke, Brecon, Elan Valley and the surrounding areas. So I'm going to try to cover all of it. So far, if you look at my cluster meter, I've done 12.9 miles of 1,000. So if I said I'm at the infancy of this trip, I wouldn't be far wrong. In fact, it hasn't even given birth because I'm still in England. So when I hit Wales, then I guess that's when it starts. But I just thought I'd share that with you, and off we go. So heading first to Llangollen, which is around another 70 miles from here. So I'll catch up with you then, unless I ride through some outstanding natural beauty, then I'll switch the camera on again. Until then, toodaloo. So I'm in Llangollen now, and this is famous for a aqueduct, and I thought it wouldn't be right if I was to miss that altogether.
So I'm on the canal that leads to the aqueduct, but before I show that, I thought I'd show you the cottages and the narrowboats that surround the canal. Let's head towards the aqueduct. Under the bridge we go. The Vale of Llangollen. These are boats that you can sit on, pay a small fee, and enjoy the canals and the aqueduct for a short period of time. 45 minutes to be exact.
It's okay. I'll come through. I'll come nice and slow. No sudden movements, please.
Don't go fast.
I know it's not deep, but that's not the point. I'll need a tetanus jab if I jump in there. So now we have a narrowboat crossing, and behind the narrowboat there's some people who are canoeing through.
How deep do you reckon? 3 foot?
Possibly. I wouldn't think it's much more than that because of the weight.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you. No problem.
From one side of the aqueduct, returning back to the other side. I think it's time we move on. But I will show you the bridge from beneath, from down below. It might be a little trek, but I'll get there at the end. Just bear with me.
So folks, this is the old Llangollen train station if you want to go on an old train, but we're heading on to Horseshoe Pass. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure what that entails. It's a pass that looks like a horseshoe maybe. I mean, I don't want to state the obvious, but that's all I have. So when we get there, which is in another 4 miles, we'll know a lot more. But I've come to Llangollen quite a bit for hiking, or on my own and with groups, and I always see this Horseshoe Pass, which I've never ventured towards, and I thought, as we're doing Wells 1000, let's include that in the pit stops. So see you when we get there. So I kind of worked out what it is, and it's probably still stating the obvious because there's a road up there, and I think from here to there it's like a horseshoe. It must be that, or maybe when we get to the top there's another horseshoe type of pass. But I guess the beauty of this is that this looks a little bit like somewhere you'd find it on the NC 500, Scotland. And as we're a million miles away from Scotland, it's nice to see these kind of sceneries closer to home. I should just let you know that it's not even been 90 miles, which equates to about 150 kilometers, since I left my home. And now I'm in this beautiful landscape of Wales. So sometimes you don't have to travel far to find beautiful landscapes. That's the moral of the story, I think. Ponderosa, what a lovely cafe gift shop. I think I'm going to pull in here because I can see some other bikers and they're all on scooters, and I think that might be nice just to yeah, where do I park is the question. I think I'm going to go over there where there's a view, shall we say. Okay, let's switch the engine off, hark up. indicator off. My visor is steaming up, but I think you can still see a great view. Nope, they didn't want to talk to me. Billy no mates again. What can I do? Rather they invite me. Nope, they're off. Oh, now you want to talk? No, thank you. I'm off.
Yes, I'm off. Bye bye sheep, and it's time to go to Horseshoe Falls, the next destination. And then after that, Pistyll Rhaeadr. And then I think it's Welsh Pool to call it a day. You have to keep in mind, though it's a lovely ride and I'm really taking in the views and enjoying the whole experience, it is quite tiring. And you have to walk around, take pictures, record videos. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's good to get some rest. Each day is going to demand at least 150 miles, and so getting the right amount of rest does help the cause. What do you think? You wouldn't begrudge me that, would you?
Heading towards Horseshoe Falls. We've done Horseshoe Pass, and Horseshoe Falls, it's not a waterfall per se, it's more a cascade. This is Horseshoe Falls. There's not much of a fall on the Horseshoe, but if I show you the way the cascade bends round, you can see it's a horseshoe. So that is Horseshoe Falls. Crystal clear water though. So I'm heading to Pistyll Rhaeadr now. Again, it's a very tall waterfall, so it's not a cascade, it really is a waterfall. But the route there, because I'm taking some inner roads, it's gonna be quite difficult to do. So oh no, I was about to go turn here, but I can't because they've got sheep, so I'm gonna have to go further along and do a U-turn.
So finally on the path to Pistyll Rhaeadr, as you can see, it's a very, very narrow path. One car can pass, but 2 cars, impossible. And even on the motorbike, I'm going to have to find places where cars can pass with ease, as you cannot really cross a motorcycle and a car on this narrow path. The other thing to bear in mind is, if you look at the middle of the road, it's sort of moss grown, and it's got stones, and it's probably not the best part of the road to ride on if you're on 2 wheels and you apply brakes on 2 wheels, because the front end would no doubt slip. But we're going to get through this. We're going to go nice and slow, and we're going to head in the direction of Pistyll Rhaeadr. I'll see you in a short while. Yippee, we're nearly there. So I'll park the bike and walk up. This is the starting point. There is a cafe to my left, and this used to be the entrance to the waterfall, but they've locked the gate there and they expect you to walk all the way around, which isn't a bad walk. In fact, it's great for me because I can stretch my legs. But anyway, carry on through this lovely scenic area, and just as we drop down these steps, very carefully I might add, to my right you will see the waterfall. Folks, I would love to stay here for longer, but the room that I've taken for the night beckons, so it's on the road, hitting the road, and hitting it hard. Again, very narrow, single lanes to get to my accommodation, which I will show you as soon as I get there, because that's one thing I've changed. I will show you the accommodation. Until then, enjoy the waterfall.
So this is the lounge of the place I'm staying at. It's Airbnb, and the people who are hosting are absolutely wonderful. I'll show you the room in a short while. Let's give you an idea of the view outside. Oops. I wonder whether you can see through the blinds. This is the room. It's a single bed, but it's all that I need. That's the view outside. Quite wonderful. And this is dishevelled me. Hello everyone. So the host, a lady called Mandy, has left water, chocolate sweets, kettle crisps, a candle even. How wonderful. Television. Really, really nice. I don't think you'd get this in a hotel. This home feel. Right. The time is not 3 o'clock. It is 6:30. So I think it's time for me to say bye-bye. Oh, I'm growing in the wrong places.